Hi, my name's Sharon Brennan. I have cystic fibrosis, and I also was lucky enough to get double lung transplant a couple of years ago. It's Antibiotic Awareness Week this week, and I am one of those people that have been kept alive through antibiotics. I've been on them all my life. I've had so many of them and so many different names that it's probably quite hard for me to get across to you quite how much time it took up. But it enabled me to keep my old lungs with me until I was gone 30, which I'm forever grateful for. And it also got me through my transplant. So after my transplant, I was very vulnerable and I was immunosuppressed. And that first month was really critical to making sure that I stayed alive. And I was on antibiotics that entire time, being delivered straight through into my bloodstream, so they're very strong. And then since then, I've been on them all my life as well. So, and I will be until the day I die. Because I'm vulnerable, I can pick up infections a lot quicker than other people. So I need them just to help me be that bit stronger. Antibiotic resistance obviously really scares me because if I get a infection that is resistant to antibiotics, and it does happen, that will be it for me, really. I won't be able to fight it off because I'm immunosuppressed, and I wouldn't be able to try for a second transplant because my body wouldn't be able to cope with the trauma that it had gone through because I had so much infection in me. And, and this isn't an improbability. This has actually happened to friends of mine in the last year, and been very upsetting to have to say goodbye to them because after they've got through the transplant to then succumb to resistant infections. And maybe what's just as upsetting is I belong to a transplant chat group where we share experiences, and there's been quite a few young people going on there in the last year or so who've tried to be assessed for a transplant and unfortunately weren't able to have one because they already had infections in their lungs which were resistant to antibiotics, and it meant that the transplant was way too risky for them and it would kill them. But for them not to be given that chance really took their hope away. And I think that's what people don't realise with antibiotics is we rely on them so much for major surgeries and cancer treatment and recovering from things like chemotherapy, that without them, we really can't do so much of the medical advances that we rely upon. And I think with those medical advances does come hope. And it's very hard to, as young people to move forward if you don't have that hope of being able to get better. And that's what resistance is all about, really, taking that chance away from us of getting better. So, go away from this video. You've met one person here who needs antibiotics all their life, but have a little think about the way that we use antibiotics as a society and whether you think we use them too much. And look at some of the funding. The CF Trust is doing a lot of work to try and improve the antibiotics that we have in the pipeline so that when drugs, bacteria gets clever and adapts to antibiotics and then it basically stops working to kill those bacteria, we have to have new antibiotics to, try and attack that bacteria when we can. So do have a look at the work the CF Trust is doing and have a think about the fact that resistance really might affect me and my community, but it really is a problem for the whole of the UK as well.
It's about being able to make the choices that I want to make without having to worry about cystic fibrosis first. It's about young people with CF being able to go to school more, get the grades that they deserve, and be able to go to university in a way that I never could.